of the fastest way to creating wealth is understanding the level of the value your income, your skill is generating. There's a high income skill and there's a high value business. Many people are working on a low income skill, and by so doing, they can't create wealth unless they attach to it. Because I want to give you things you can do that will help you create wealth faster. Because a lot of times we are praying so much, we are thinking, what can we do to really create wealth? But the work you are working on, the skill you have now, is a low income skill. It can't give you enough money that can help you create wealth on time. Because hard working is not enough. It is the value the market is willing to pay for it. That's what matters. Somebody can be digging the ground. It's not dig the ground for 5 days and dig whatever it is. It is what you are worth and you are worth. So, but there are some high value business and there are some high earning skills that sometimes you need to really learn to add to what you're doing. I think there are 3 things you can do. Sometimes a lot of people, they need to, if your business at the moment is high value business, but you're not making money from it, probably you might need to change the business model. Probably you might need to change from commodity, where you're just selling to people or you're just servicing, to product, to product model, whereby you create a product and sell, brand the product and sell. You're a fashion designer, you're just collecting clothes, sew it and sell for people. No, you might not get enough. Then you get high income skill or high value business to it. So you need to really understand that. You see, I have a friend, Engineer Abiodun. He's a ship engineer, and there's a program coming. We're going to be speaking together in that program. Sometimes we're talking together, and because I'm an accountant, I went to school and studied accounting. And while we were talking, he said, "I used to study accounting as well." I said, "What? How come you're a ship engineer?" And he said, that I realized the fact that, because of our conversation, I realized the fact that he understood this very thing I'm talking about. If your business, if your skill is low income, skill, then you need to, by the side, you need to learn high income skill. You need to go learn to improve what you're doing. You need to upgrade your earning power by, learning a better skill that can solve bigger problems, or that can help you attract opportunities, or better still, that can position you for better reward. So you can learn a lot of things. What you are doing now, probably you're just selling things at a very low level now. Money is not forthcoming in. You can add real estate to it. You sell one land, you can get 100,000 commission, 200,000 commission. You can add real estate to it. You can add selling of cars to it. You see opportunities online. People are saying they need this one, they need this one. You can help them to get it. You can add selling of cars to it. It doesn't stop what you are doing. You see, that is what the wisdom to creating wealth. Because one of the greatest way or the fastest way to creating wealth is understanding is that you must understand the place of high value business. That means the business that's selling, like those are selling cars, selling land, these are high value business. Or selling, or high income skill like IT, like programming, those who get contracts for building contracts and like that. Just you are a bricklayer now. That's a skill. A bricklayer has a skill. You can't get enough money as a bricklayer working as a skill compared to when you get a contract. So you have to position yourself, move from skill to organized business, whereby you can get, and that's what I'm talking about, business model now. You are moving from just selling skill, as a commodity level, to the product level, whereby you have a brand, or you have processed yourself, you have a business, whereby now you can get contract. So when they say people engineer at different sites and like that, people who understand, building. Some people who study architecture, some just call everybody engineer. There are many bricklayers they call engineer because they put their eyes down. They see how they can see how the skill. They understand the skill. They understand how to organize it to a business. They understand how to really get into get a contract. They understand the business angle of what they are doing. So for you to do well in what you're doing, you need to get high income skills or high value business. Because if you continue to sell at the level, probably you're running a provision store, you might need to either upgrade to expand it into a superstore by getting investors, that's changing your business model, or by getting additional skill by the side, high income skill or high value business. Things that you can just learn. Just like I told a friend of mine was an accountant, Okay, he's still an accountant. He will say, but I had to go and learn ship engineering to it. And today he gets contracts all over everywhere, and he's doing very well, fantastically. So that's the way it works. If you want to create wealth, you have to understand that what creates wealth is what are you working on at the moment. It's going to be limited. So as you're working on a low income, I'm not saying you should throw it away, don't abandon it, but add to what you are doing. Add to what you are doing. High value business or high income skill. A lot of times, let me just add this to it as a round off. Many Christians are only enjoying the level of, well, there are two levels to which a lot of people they create wealth or make money. You know, true faithfulness and true wisdom. I think I'm going to teach that in another day, because true faithfulness is because you have served God for a while. God is faithful. He just gave you a job or gave you these things. But the place of wisdom is taking from that level to another bigger level, creating different, using that thing you are getting from that faithfulness as a capital to create bigger things. So that's another level, because a lot of times you are just as stuck because your family just felt you came from that family. They gave you capital to go and start your business. That's faithfulness, because you came from that family. But what you now do with that business, that's a place of wisdom. Probably you have served the boss. Now the boss said after serving for 7 years, he settled you. That's the level of faithfulness. But what you do with that money now in terms of creating wealth, that is place of wisdom. So that is way to create wealth. Get a high income skill or high value business to add to what you're doing. That is, we help you to speed up. Don't just keep waiting one day. I'm not saying it's not just diversifying. Don't lose focus on what you're doing, but get a high income skill by the side that you are doing. Thank God for the social media. You can promote, you can do all of those things on the social media while you are still working on what you're doing. All right, that's what I have for you today on this Wisdom Masterclass. I want to believe I brought value to you. I want to believe you learned something that will help you to create wealth in this class.